Welcome back, everyone, to Citywide Blackout WEMF Radio. I'm your host, Max Bowen, and today I've got guest co-hosts. I don't have to talk the entire show. This is amazing. This is like a day off for me.
You can save your voice. You don't have to go home.
He called in for backup, but at the same time, I'm going to say I think that we volunteered.
I believe you did actually volunteer. I believe that.
So does it count as us nagging you, or us, or us being invited on the show? Is the question.
A little from column A, a little from column B. So let me give the introductions, folks. I'm joined by the one and only Brian Murphy of One Time Mountain, one of the most epic rock bands, actually the most epic rock band in the entire East Coast.
Thanks, man.
Screw everyone else.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
Man.
And thanks for the epic introduction.
That's right. And for some reason, she's.
I knew I was cool.
Yeah, you're very cool. And the one and only singer-songwriter, actress, Kate Eppers, who for some reason is also watching the live stream on Facebook.
So I managed to pull it off.
As she does every week. I remember thinking, this is going to be kind of weird because you are always watching the live stream. And it's like, wait, but you're going to be here today. So, I'm going to be minus my most loyal viewer.
I know. There needs to be a fill-in.
There's reminds me of Inception or some glitch in the Matrix.
Yes. Yeah, seriously. Definitely. So, what has been going on, you guys? I know it's been a while since we had you on. Brian, I know you, in particular, One Time Mountain has been doing a lot. You had a huge show at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, we played the Hard Rock Cafe last month.
Yep.
It was a fun time. The one thing I like about the Hard Rock Cafe is you can always count on great sound. The sound team there is phenomenal.
And
absolutely,
the food's awesome.
And the food, oh my God, the never-ending plate of nachos.
Oh yeah,
that's what it seems like. But
it is. It's self-refilling. We found that out.
Yeah,
really.
I'll tell you that story later.
It's Wait. Is this like a magical play of nachos that just?
It could have been because there was no other explanation.
Holy shit!
It felt like because we were really going at it. We were giving it the old college try.
Because we kept going back to this plate, and it was shared between multiple friends, and every time we went back to the plate, it just looked like there was more.
It looked like it was you guys aren't even doing anything. Try harder.
Over the course of a whole
night. The Hard Rock
night.
Cafe is staffed by witches or mutants or something.
Damn thing. It was an enchanted plate of nachos.
The Hard Rock Cafe of wizardry and witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly. So
that would be a much better movie.
That could be. Yeah, that's the Rockers version. But
it's like the spin-off.
We just played the Hard Rock. That's been a lot of fun. Coming up June 28th, we're going to be opening up for King's X in Rhode Island at the Met. And so
I love the Met. It's a great place.
Yeah, I've never been there. Can you tell us about it?
Okay, so it is in Pawtucket, I believe.
Okay.
So it's like this. It's like the younger sister to Providence.
Okay.
But it's got a really good music scene. So the Met is, I believe, like a refurbished mill building.
Okay.
That has been turned into this huge art center. They have a gallery in one section, and they have they have the venue in the other section. It's a huge place, tons of room.
Yeah.
2 bars, I believe. You can actually sit down there, which is
wow.
really cool.
What do you think the audience the capacity would be?
It's gonna be like 200 at least.
Nice. So we're gonna be playing a nice show, and the cool. Do we have time for a quick story?
Yeah, go for it.
So
story away.
Thanks. Actually, so I want to give credit to Kate first for helping us get the show.
Woo.
She helps.
I ain't do nothing. You did it yourself.
She helps. Well, she works for this company called
Never mind,
Limelight.
I'll take credit.
Right. So she works for this company called Limelight, and they're a music media outlet, and they also have a production side of things. And Kate's been helping do several shows for them, and so I had attended one of the ones she was helping. I met one of the head promoters. I gave him a CD, and so fast forward to however long ago, like a month or so ago, and King's X is coming into town, and their promotion side of things was communicating with their management. And so I guess as the story goes, the management said we'll have one opener. I guess over a dozen bands that applied for it. Wow. I had no clue they were even coming to town or anything, but the guy listened to our CD and he was like, yo, I'm going to put One Time Mountain in on that list.
Whoa.
So I had no clue. And so we had a total bone thrown to us. So the management company, I guess, for King's X was like, yeah, we want One Time Mountain to play, and we're going to be there watching them. So they, I got the message from the promotion company. Shout out to Brian Kenny. Thank you very much for Jay. Ooh, sorry, that's
Brian Kenny
long story. But anyways, thanks Jay Kenny and for throwing us that bone. We're super psyched to be on the bill. Super appreciative. We have we're the only band opening up, so it's gonna be great for the fans because sometimes there's those shows where there's a million local acts, and you know what? Personally, I think it's gonna be good just having that one act. We got a 25-minute set, so that means limited amount of screw ups. You know, that means like, you know, there's only 25 minutes worth of time that we can risk and screw up stuff. So
or you could look at it as 25 minutes to be like awesome.
To knock it out of the park.
Exactly.
That's the goal. All we have to do is knock it out of the park for 25 minutes. So Pawtucket, we're coming for you, and we're gonna knock it out of the park for sure. Absolutely. The rehearsals are starting to sound tight, and so that's one of the things we got coming up among a million others, but. You know, anyways, I don't want to take the floor for too long.
No, keep going.
A million others. Go on, man.
Okay.
Continue,
you know what? I want to give a shout out to my new vocal coach, Tony Harnell, from TNT, or anyone who is a Sega Dreamcast fan. He did the music for Sonic Adventure. He did the theme.
Seriously?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was rocking out to.
I love that game,
dude. And
his voice.
He's a dude. The guy's a powerhouse, and he sang the theme song for Sonic the Hedgehog. Like he was the guy that did his themes. It doesn't matter. So anyways,
I gotta like dig this up now.
It's cool. No, and I really got to give credit to Kate because I was scrolling through her Instagram, her Instagram. Wait a minute. I was creeping on my girlfriend hard. No,
you don't have to do that, you know.
You wanted to see who was
I
commenting
could just
on my
look
pictures.
to my right. No, so. Yo, who's Tony Harnell? No.
I'll kill that bastard.
So I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, actually on my computer because I'm lazy. It's at the computer. And so I followed him on Twitter, or no, Instagram. Where are we now? And he was advertising vocal lessons. And so I'm looking at the advertisement, and I'm looking over to Kate, and I'm like, this guy that I like, he's a really good singer. He's like kind of a big deal. No, but I was like, this a singer that I really like is offering up vocal lessons, and she's like, just go for it. So just write him an email, and so I wrote him an email, and I had my first vocal lesson. So I'd be a client. He's the coach. The other day, and it went great. I was pleasantly surprised by the lesson. You know, I usually, you know, when people are at such a high caliber, I usually expect kind of like, you suck, get better, you know, and like, you know, that kind of environment. But I mean, while there definitely, you know, I absolutely have room for improvement. I felt like it was like a very warm, fun lesson. And it was cool. There was no, you know, tension or anything. You know, like I felt like I felt like it was a fun lesson, and and at the same time, I felt like I was getting experience and learning, yeah, it was a fun environment to learn in, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But so I have that going on. I'll be doing an interview for my friend Johnny Freebird. You can look him up on Instagram, JONNY_Freebird. A friend of mine. He's going to be starting up his podcast. So we're going to be doing that. So make sure to check him out on Instagram. But other than that, the band has been really busy behind the scenes. We're pumping out, we're recording videos all the time. We're coming up with new merchandise we got coming out. We're talking about yeah, for sure.
I love the new logo you guys got there with the hourglass.
Yeah, you know,
so cool.
Alex, our singer, is in another band, Take Us Alive. You guys can check them out. They're on Facebook, Spotify, and all that fun stuff. And their bass player, Carlos, is an excellent graphic designer. So if anyone out there is listening and needs some design work, make sure to look up Take Us Alive, like them on Facebook, and then find Carlos, message him. And I don't know how he does it. We got the in, so it didn't take much work. But if he does, you know, check him out. Maybe he could do something cool for whatever your project is. But so his bass player in his other band hooked it up and made us a killer logo for sure. So we're going to be putting that on beanies come this winter, fall, and
nice.
And we're going to do wristbands with the logo, like the sport sweatbands. We're going to have that on there, and so we've got a lot of things in the works, you know, behind the scene that we're working on. I'm studying Google AdWords like crazy, so we can figure out how to best market ourselves, you know, on Google's platform. But
you gotta. You gotta do like the work yourself, because if you sit around saying, "Okay, I'll just sit here, put myself out there, and wait for someone to find me,"
not enough.
No, it's not gonna happen. Too.
No, it's gonna be at a stagnant pace pretty much. But so we've been really busy, and you know, it's like 24/7 doing something. You know, so it's been a lot of it's obviously a passion. You know, I love doing it, and you know, I take a ton of pride in my band. I think we've got a good product, and I encourage anyone who's listening, you know, please give us please take a listen to us. You can look us up. One
Time Mountain.
Yeah, One Time Mountain. You can find us on Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we try to keep an open line with all fans and friends, and so check us out. And if you like us, give us a shout out. You know, and you know, we'll make sure to get back to you and let us know what songs you like.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's been really fun on the One Time Mountain Camp, and yeah, that's how that's going.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah,
well,
thanks.
You know what? With that in mind, I think we're going to take a break.
Sure.
And actually play one of your songs
Great.
from the most recent release, Seasons.
Yep.
And this one is called Cross the Line. This is Citywide Blackout. Uh-oh.
Hey, awesome. I didn't know we were gonna do play a song. I'm pumped. It's a great song.
Okay,
cool. You'll hear me singing.
Made the face, and I was like, oh god, what did I do wrong now?
Max, nothing.
Today.
No, the only thing you did wrong is bring me in here because I'm crazy, man.
I was playing in my head today too.
Cool. It's a great song. It's and you can hear Alex and I singing in the chorus. It's a kind of like a call and answer. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a stage musical. And yeah, so you guys will hear it.
All right, here we go.
What? Oh yeah, they're like he's like hustling constantly, but yeah, it's like you're just chasing this, you're emailing all these people and you can get one response back.
I think it'd be in your best interest to stop what you're doing and listen to WEMF radio. It's like radio now.
Welcome back, everyone, to Citywide Blackout on WEMF Radio. And that's my wonderful echoing opener. I'm going to keep doing that all the time. I just love doing that.
It's like this is WEMF, and we are lost in a cave.
Where are we? Brian, where's Brian?
You know what?
God.
That would probably be some excellent effects for the book we're doing.
Oh, good segue. All right, I'm going to
true.
actually turn that down because it's starting to get on my nerves. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So actually, before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the folks watching on the live stream. Of course, Kate's watching. As she
Hi,
always
me.
does. Yeah. And my good buddy Nick's watching. He and I have been friends for like 30 years. So and we're still talk to each other. That's really weird.
Yeah.
My
weird.
buddy Diego, better known as the Clown Prince of Fashion, an awesome cosplayer. If you're like at a Comic-Con, you can probably see him there. He does some amazing Joker cosplay.
Very cool.
He's done the Jared Leto version from the Suicide Squad. He's also done the more classic Joker.
You were in a picture with him.
He was on the show. My favorite picture.
Yeah.
Is with him.
I know that picture.
Yeah, definitely. And he's an amazing cosplayer, just amazing dude, a fellow nerd. So he's just an awesome guy. Hopefully, I'll see him at the next Comic-Con to go to. My good buddy Tom, who is actually a former co-host on the show.
Oh,
living out in New York now. Which we don't hold against him.
Yeah. Easy.
I feel like the rivalry's kind of like come and gone. Really.
It's like
it's kind of faded
It's
away.
like a mainstream hey, you're from New York, I'm from Boston.
Yeah. We
There's
don't
like
actually meet it anymore.
yeah, we're like 20 years ago. It's like you goddamn from Boston, I'll goddamn kill you.
Yeah. and actually, interesting enough, a former boss of mine, Mark Scale, is watching. He used to be.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Should have gave him that promotion.
Was Max a good employee?
I was the
I want to
worst.
see his resume.
I was terrible. My God, how I'm still employed is a damn miracle.
Was there an exit
No.
interview? 'Cause I want to hear about that.
You know what? You're probably one of the most credible that I've ever seen on all platforms.
credible.
Period.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Oh man. All right, so we were talking earlier about all right, actually going back to the audiobook, which the three of us are doing together.
Mm-hmm.
This is for the Overlord series, which is written by our good buddy Mike Squattrito. And we're currently in the first book now. We're on chapter 5 or 6, something like that. And we've
On the editing phase.
Yeah. So this has been a really cool, and you're going to see this down the road on iTunes and Spotify and all that jazz. And for us, this has been a real trial by fire because none of us have done anything like this, ever. I mean, of course, Brian, you have experience with.
I have experience in the studio and some slight production, but I'm learning as I go for sure.
Yeah, but that's with like music and obviously an audiobook is a very different thing.
Yeah. The editing as of right now is a little bit different. So
yeah. And this is a new thing for all of us because I have zero acting experience prior to this.
Which is surprising because you are supernatural.
You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
You would never know that.
Oh, shucks.
You would never know that.
And of course, Kate, you definitely have the acting chops out of all of us.
But it's
Lots
still,
of experience.
Thanks, yeah, but it's still challenging to take on a lead male role, which I didn't expect to do. just because you want to be challenged as an actor, but I also want it to be believable. So then it was just finding
This is a challenge, though. Being a guy.
How my voice is gonna. I mean, it first started out trying to do this deep voice, and then going to recording a whole first chapter, and now going, you know what? I finally kind of got it down, so am going to go back and re-record the first chapter. But all the other characters and the accents, Swinkle. Stay tuned, everybody. You'll meet Swinkle.
Yeah, you definitely have the more unique voices.
That's true.
You have the main character Harrison, but you also have Swinkle and
You have some wild characters. You were the dog, is that right? So there's a dog character? No, there might not. There was. I remember. Editing it not too long ago. I think this week or two ago. Kate had to do some silly little troll style voice.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But like that's how it is with audiobooks. Is that it's usually one person doing all the roles.
Right. This is going to be a little bit more of a dynamic experience for the listener, and
which is
as long as we get it right, it's going to be great.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Well, our boss Mike will be the judge of that.
Sure, absolutely.
We'll see what happens, but it's going to be amazing when it's finished, and it's going to be really entertaining to listen to, especially for us.
Yeah. Every time I listen to a chapter, I think, oh my god, is that what I sound like? Holy crap.
Yeah, I hate my talking voice.
I have a really good foundation of the first several chapters of what's going on just from editing it.
Yeah.
But to speed up the process, I found out, and I'll show you later how you can we can change the playback rate.
Oh.
And so I have it by almost doubled. So it's literally 1.8% the normal speed. And for a few sessions of editing, it was like listening to the Chipmunks. But I figured out how to keep the pitch relative to the normal speed. So that's helped out a lot. And
so you can slow everything down.
Absolutely, and speed it up. But
that I think is probably the biggest hurdle that we come across, because audiobooks, if you listen to them, they're done in a very slow way because the listener has to be able to keep up with what the speaker's saying.
Sure.
And I wonder if they employ the same trick to kind of slow it down by just a little bit, because I feel like
we can look into that.
To talk like that has got to be a challenge.
It's an exercise.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine. It's got to be some sort of exercise.
It really does, and that's I think what things that for me, because I am usually a fairly fast talker sometimes.
Yep, going at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, really.
I noticed in the beginning we were all flubbing up, but as now we're getting kind of into the thick of it. We're past the beginning, but not far from the start.
Yeah, exactly.
But I noticed a lot of things are starting to smooth out naturally. Yeah. But it's just keeping that that mental awareness, and Kate's getting that voice down, even though I was trying to say we should do some sort of hormone therapy, to get that voice low, but she's figuring it out and it's going along pretty good.
Experience is the best teacher. For all of us, this is brand new for all of us. So, as you go, you get better. And this has been just a lot of fun too, to just kind of mess around with different voices, because I'll do the voices when I'm just out and about.
Sure.
I did that once for one of the voices, Pondal. He's kind of like a half elf. So he's got kind of that the elvish British sort of thing. And I was doing that getting coffee at Dunkin' Donuts,
ordering your coffee
in the drive-thru. And the guy says, "Okay, here you go." And I keep doing the voice. I walk drive off thinking, "Oh man, this is hilarious."
I like doing that, and actually, you know what? I think that probably makes their day, because they have the most bland job.
Yeah.
So I think it adds a little spice to their life, and they'll remember that. He
had to know. I was just messing with him. He had to know that that's not how I talk. But actually, he might have thought I was actually English, because as I drove away, he said cheers. Oh man, did he really buy that? So
it's working.
So person at the Walpole Dunkin' Donuts, I'm
Shout
sorry,
out.
sir. You're awesome for going along with it, but I lied to you. I deceived you, and I feel terrible about it.
I'm actually from around Boston. My accent is fairly normal from where I live.
Definitely. All right. Really quick before I would take a break and move on to the next guest, I want to talk. Kate, you have a show coming up. From what I can see, June 30th over at the Cantab Lounge.
And thanks for looking that up, because I was sitting here going, "When's the date?" And I'm saying I'm gonna have nothing to say. So
no, I come prepared for this stuff. I did my homework.
Yeah, I have a show. It's still, they didn't make an official flyer yet, so I don't know what the other bands are, but June 30th at the Cantab in Cambridge.
Yep.
And I'm excited to do that. And it's kind of funny. It just started naturally happened, but I think looks like I'm going to do an album of covers. It just, because I've been working with Bob Nacella, who's this amazing keyboard player, and I play piano, but when I say he's a piano player, he's a piano player. And he just started saying, and we started covering all these songs live. And so now it's just, he's sending me all these beautiful piano ballads and some other things, and even some more upbeat 90s things and 80s things. And so, yeah, I'm going to have an album of covers. I don't know when it's going to be done, but...
Are you going to be doing these songs at the show?
Oh, yeah, that's what happened, is we were playing them live. And we got to
cool.
just record these, because, we're doing Alanis Morissette. And
I love Alanis Morissette.
And we did, because we've been doing Hand in My Pocket, and it's I have a harmonica. I've been playing the harmonica.
That is I think, one of my favorite songs out of all of this.
It's a classic.
It really is, yeah.
And whatever happens, with the piano, and it's kind of a whole new, it really turned into a whole new song. And I've also I started rehearsing with. I'm doing an independent film. I'm doing 3, but rehearsals started for 1, and it's called The Dinner Party. And it's one of the most excited, crazy auditions I ever did, and one of the most excited I ever was to get a part was this movie. And it's a period film. It's 1906, and I play a debutante teen daughter, and it's all kinds of shenanigans at a dinner party. And there's a young female director, Killarney Trainer is her name, which is such a cool name.
That's the best name ever.
Killarney.
Oh my God.
That sounds
And
very Irish.
she's just as beautiful as her name. And we started rehearsals last weekend in New Hampshire, and it's just it's one of the funniest scripts. And when I got there and saw the zany actors, it's like you think you're zany till you meet people that are like really crazy and out there. You're like, wow, I'm like the introvert in this room, and it's just nuts. But it just watched the first read through we did. It's so funny, and I cannot wait for this. So that's called The Dinner Party. But yeah, and I'll just be working on my album covers and writing on the side and.
Talk about the new instruments.
And we got to wrap up in a minute, though.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we'll have like more time later to actually get back into this. But real quick, Kate, tell us about the instruments.
So a couple months ago, 3 months ago, it took me 6 months. I purchased a flute, and I started lessons. I have my teacher. I don't think she's watching, but hey, Julie. But Julie Dukas.
She's totally watching, grading it too.
I know. And but I'll put up posts on Instagram like practice Memorial Day practice, and she likes it. She knows I'm a good student, but I adore it. It's so beautiful. It's a French flute and it has a gold lip plate, and it's just incredible. The first day I got the flute and I couldn't even get a sound out of it, and now I'm playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I feel so close to it. And I've always played very basic piano, but I never really kind of went further than some lessons as a child with my grandmother and a little bit in college. But it's just amazing the attachment I feel to this flute. So in 10 years, and the whole goal is that in 10 years I'm auditioning for Gaelic Storm, my favorite one of my favorite bands ever, and they do Irish, because this whole thing happened because I love Irish music, and we saw Lord of the Rings live at Boston Symphony Hall.
Oh, cool.
And
Howard Shore was in the audience that night.
The composer, was actually in the audience. I don't think we got to see him, and they're playing the flute, and I just knew, and I was like, that's it, the flute, that's it. It has to be mine. So
we're going to expect some on the next record?
Yes, 100%.
I think so.
On the original stuff, and actually even on the cover album, because we're doing a cover of the song from Moana, the How Far I'll Go, which is beautiful. I don't know how I missed that whole thing, but I missed it. I missed the movie. I just discovered the song, and I singing it. So there'll definitely be some flute on there, as well as the Lord of the Rings song that we do and sing live. So, but anyway, Kate Eppers. I have a website,
and it is
KateEppers.com, and my last name, it's Eppers with it's Peppers, take the P away, Eppers, Kate Eppers. So, or you just write Max and ask who was that? Who was that girl?
Yeah.
Who's that flautist that you had on the other day?
And it took me. I didn't know. I only found out recently. It's not flutist. It's flautist.
Oh.
Flautist.
That sounds better. Definitely.
Interesting.
All
So
right.
yeah.
All right. And Brian, where do you find your site?
You guys can check us out, onetimemountain.com, but we facebook.com/onetimemountainrgb. We're so Googleable, it's not even funny. So just, that's all you have to do, and it's all spelled out. So One Time Mountain.
We're both on all the iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff too.
If you
like our music so much, you want to buy it.
Yay!
But you can. We're both on YouTube.
free sample it first,
free on
and
YouTube
then buy
and
it.
free on Spotify.
All right. Okay, folks, we are going to take a little break, and then we come back. We're going to have author Heidi Martin on. She has done kids' books and more adult books, so we're going to cross that bridge.